What is up, everybody? It is your boy Farai, and today we're gonna be looking at doing a Oliver Francis type recording template. I have seen a couple of these videos on the interwebs, but you know, kind of close but not close enough. I think there's a certain aesthetic when it comes to the cloud rap, I guess. You know, I've been listening to Lil B. You know, I've been seeing the wave progress, and yeah, shout out kiwis, man. You know, we eat kiwis, drinking you know, low sugar drinks and all that, because that's the wave in 2018. So yeah, join me as we get into this project. So I'll play it from start to finish, and I got a few little bonus. Let me just get rid of that. Got a few little bonus you know, effects and all that I'll be showing you that are not really vocal production related, but more so overall production related and all that type of stuff. I just want to make sure I don't have anything in the background here. All right, let's get into it.
Riding down the highway, left my sorrows back in last year. Twisting up a blunt, she wanna roll, my car move faster. All these haters watching, cannot bother, we move past you. Creeping in the night, rolling, oh, I feel like Casper. Casper, oh, I feel like Casper. She all on me, haven't texted her since last year. Smoking, rolling, yeah, I guess you get the point. Haters talking, but boy, we don't hear no noise.
So this is a bridge section type stuff. Flanger. Gross beat. Extra aesthetics. Ooh.
All these haters watching. All these haters watching. Oh, I feel like Casper. Oh, I feel like Casper.
Okay, there we go. That is it. Awesome. So let's break all this down, right? As we usually do. You know, we try and do this as best as we can. Beat firstly, Cult Corporation. I like their music, so I went ahead and, you know, copped this lease. So if there's anyone out there that wants to collab, pay half the lease, and if the song is ready fire, I guess we could you know, get some work done. So yeah, anyway, let's get to it. First off, obviously we have the main vocal, right? As usual, we'll get into all the fancy stuff later. But yeah, let's break down, you know, we'll go around the aesthetics of this type of vocal. You know, I don't know who, you know, obviously we need to talk about the artist up here, but you know, generally I think maybe Oliver records his own vocals and mixes them because he tends to make his own instrumentals, so it does sound very in-house production-y. But from all of the songs that I've heard of him, he's always got a very upfront mid-range per se. You know, the mid-range is quite you know, present. I don't know how to explain it. It's very much like tucked into the beat, but very much bright. Well, not bright, but more so I don't know how to say it. There's a large presence to it around this area, so that's really what we'll be focusing on in terms of the EQ. As usual, we start off with a bit of EQ, and you know, for this type of music with lots of bass in it, I mean, if you listen to this instrumental, you know, you should be able to judge if your vocal needs to be low passed, meaning this, like you can low pass a bit of your vocal. That's not a unusual thing in audio production, but you know, it's, for me, it's a either or you could do both if your vocal needs that type of space, you know, if the instrumental needs that type of space. So I mean, this is in the instrumental. You know, that low end is pretty like loud and apparent, so you want to make space for the vocal. So really, you know, just move around, you know, and just figure out where it sounds best to you. Let me just get that back to where it was. And yeah, so first
Riding down the highway.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
Riding down the highway, left my sorrows back in last year. Twisting up a blunt, she wanna roll, my car move faster. All these haters watching, cannot bother.
You see, it almost makes it less you know, present in a way, because it's so kind of muddy and boomy. It almost makes it sound like it's lagging on the whole beat. Like, I don't know, I can't really explain it, but it almost fills out too much of the beat. So you know, we get rid of a bit of the frequencies we don't want, and then we do a low pass. That's generally my first rule of thumb. Do a bit of compression just to tame the vocal, you know, just to get those louder elements of the track, you know, all glued together, just so we don't have to worry about any volume automation. You know, I would think if you're a beginner, I would generally think just eyeball what seems a bit louder and just kind of manually pull it down with an automation clip. You can right click and create a volume automation clip and just kind of pull down a certain section, etc. So yeah, pretty much after that we do a bit of multiband compression. This is the Fruity multiband. Somebody actually thought that there is a Fruity de-esser, but you know, a multiband compressor can be a de-esser, so just watch out for the mid band and the high band. As you can see, the low band is bypassed.
But and I know how I left my sorrows back in last.
So every time there's a S, it's getting compressed. You know, as you can see, the bands over here, we're looking at the pink and the blue band. Those are what we are using to compress those higher frequencies.
But and I know how I left my sorrows back in last year. Twisting up a blunt, she wanna roll my car move faster. All these hate.
It's almost just kind of lowering everything else. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Really basic stuff. You've seen this a million times before, but you know, once you get the technique down, or the application of the technique, you know, kind of the procedure, it's very important to make, you know, sound decisions on that kind of procedure. I don't know, whatever. You get the idea.
But and I know how I left my sorrows back in last year. Twisting up a blunt, she.
So yeah, this technique I took from the Nav recording template. If you know, there's anyone out there who wants to go and watch that, if you have not watched that. But I like this whole tone and boost. This works well for this type of vocal effect, where really you use the first or second EQ to create a kind of shape for the vocals. As you can hear, you know, the bass and the piano sample or whatever is really apparent in the track. You don't want the vocal in the and that's a clash. So
but and I know how I left my sorrows back in last year. Twisting up a blunt, she wanna roll my car move fast.
I mean, that's all the difference between a professional vocal and a muddy, just kind of you know, low fidelity type vocal. And after that, I mean, we are boosting a little bit because we want that presence, you know. Obviously we need to compensate for this, because if we're getting rid of something, we need to kind of enhance something else. In my opinion, that's how I like to do it. We're doing a bit more EQ, you know, I felt that was right.
But and I know how I left my sorrows back in
just to kind of give it almost like that, you know, when you go to the barber and get your hair lined and all that, this is kind of the lineup of the vocal. And then we're doing a bit of Toronto compressor. This is, I think I just grabbed this compressor, but I changed it from vintage to variable release. I think that's what that R stands for. Just meaning it's really just a project dependent compressor. You can go and Google up all that stuff. It's really like a 2LA, LA2A, whatever that compressor is called. And then interestingly enough, in this tutorial, we are using a saturation knob, because when I listen to kind of any cloud rap or kind of vaporwavy style track, the vocals always kind of a bit more grungy. You know, you could actually turn this all the way up and get a more little peep type sound. So I just hope I can undo. Okay, I can undo, so I'll just turn this.
But and I know how I left my sorrows back in last year. Twisting up a blunt, she wanna roll my car move faster. All these haters watching cannot bother, we move past you. Creep.
So yeah, there you go. You know, I mean, I apologize for, you know, clipping your ears right there. Hopefully you're listening on a high quality system as usual, you know, headphones or these stereo speakers. And yeah, you just want to add in a bit of saturation. You don't want to try and distort your preamp to get saturation unless you have really expensive gear. So this works well for digital audio. I'm using the Keep High. This is a free plugin, by the way, by Softtube, for those who are interested in this. And you know, just tweak it up a little bit, up until the point where you hear it getting a bit more crispy and warm. You know, it's not really so much a thing that you can hear, but it's more so a feeling that you get. It's filling out the vocal more. You know, so let's A/B that.
But and I know how I left my sorrows back in last year. Twisting up a blunt, she wanna roll my car move faster. All these haters watching cannot bother.
So yeah, mosquito. I should have been wearing mosquito repellent because they're gonna bite my legs while we are filming. But yeah, basically you can just hear it. This sounds a lot clean without, but when I'm using it, it's adding a bit more of that low end back in, if that makes any sense.
But and I know how I left my sorrows back in last year. Twisting up.
You know what I mean? It's almost because the lower frequencies are really for, you know, male and female vocals. That lower mid is really what all humans can hear. Like this whole section from, let's just say, bass over there, which is like 100, not so much 100, but let's just say 150 all the way to like 1K, is a really important frequency range. So it's important to cater to that area, not to have it muddy, but to have it clean and controlled. And this is my method of cleaning and controlling it. Now, if you've watched the J-Critch template, you will see that I've used this EQ before. I mean, this is the most useless function of this plugin. I mean, look how scary this is. Imagine you just lose this plugin and then it's like there and then you can't find it ever again. I think that's a really weird. I mean, it's kind of cool to have it like that, but anyway, side note. So yeah, I quite like the way this plugin boosts the high end. There's kind of a mid-range knob that you can tweak and push. And then also you can reduce the low end, fully dependent on where the mid band has been set, because that's the only place you can actually set a frequency. The high end is set and the low end is kind of dependent on that. And this is just a nice way to, you know, kind of finalize your vocal. So
Button down the highway, left my sorrows back in last year. Twisting up a blunt, she wanna roll my camouflage.
so at this point it's getting really hard to hear the differences, but these are the subtle differences that, you know, years of ear training will kind of teach you. And you can hear very nicely that I'm kind of just smoothing out that mid-range as a whole, right? Instead of using multi-band compression or whatever, I just prefer to have it set in stone. Just 2 dB off, which is quite a lot, because I mean that's 2 dB from 2K all the way down.
Button down the highway, left my sorrows back in last year.
But it's really just I do this to finalize that tone with the instrumental. And then obviously we couldn't have a good song without a good old SSL type EQ. And all we're really doing is just I love the SSL to find that frequency. It's exactly the same as this, you know, but we're just kind of finalizing what we want. This plugin does kill CPU, so I'll just quickly.
Button down the highway, left my sorrows back in last year. Twisting up a blunt, she wanna roll my camouflage.
And I really can't hear the difference, but I guess on the speakers it sounded good. So, you know, this is a option. I mean, you don't really need that. Vocal bus, you know, de-essing, etc, etc. Just a bit more EQ. You know, this is all really up to you. This is just what I like to do in order to get that
Button down the highway, left my sorrows back in last year. Twisting up a blunt, she wanna roll my.
You know, I don't want to overwhelm you. Obviously, you know, I see a lot of people that just do one compressor chain and that's it. But over time, you will learn the techniques, and I will go through these 2 presets. This is part of the whole effects thing going on. So yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of the main vocal. 12 minutes on that. I hope you stick around because this is good stuff. I enjoy it. So yeah. Then over here we've got the double take. Now the double take is, in my opinion, what's important when it comes to this cloud rap thing, right? Because when you hear Oliver's vocal, there's always something going on in the background, right? Now you can use the double to create that vibe, right? So I'll just get rid of the main vocal and then you can hear this just with the beat. It's very subtle. Now, alternatively, you could just send your main vocal to that channel, but, you know, to create some diversity and movement, why not just re-record it, right? Double it, you know what I mean? And that's the cool thing about this template, is that you can actually just route your microphone into that channel and then, you know, do your thing. And you can actually hear what the final sound is going to sound like. Oh yeah, we are doing auto-tune on the main vocal. This is the setting, 80 for all those that want to know. And the aesthetic of this vocal, by the way, is just to da-da-da-da-da. That's the nav sound. You know, I think it's a speaker knocker sound, but, you know, you could argue with me about that. But Oliver definitely has this.
Creeping in the night, rolling, I feel like Casper.
Oh, do-do-do-do-do. You know what I mean? There's a very nice kind of, you know, guitarish melody style going on there. But yeah, auto-tune, you know, on this double take, EQ just to get rid of everything we don't need. So this is very just dependent on your voice and sound. This flanger, I think this is the default flanger, whatever it is. We're doing a bit of distortion. Oh, there we go. Yeah, just a bit of distortion on there, just to give it a bit of presence, because it's so soft in the mix. We're just doing enough distortion so it doesn't make that, because then it sounds like you've got noise in your recordings, which I'm not a fan of. So yeah, a bit of reverb. I mean, you've seen this before, but it just creates a nice sense of space. So
creeping in the night, rolling, I feel like creeping in the night, rolling, I feel like Casper.
And yeah, in terms of the main vocal, we are also doing a bit of detuning. I'll leave that for if you decide to purchase the template, but I'll just give you the keys right there. It's this classic flanger, which you can go and play around with. Perfect for creating a double effect. That's the EQ, exact same concept, but we're just sending the main vocal to there.
Creeping in the night, rolling, I feel like Casper.
And yeah, a bit of reverb as well, but while I'm at it, we are using the MDE X, whatever this is called, which I recommend you go and purchase. It's not expensive, it's old, and it comes with mad options. So, you know, every option is a different kind of set of knobs, if that makes any sense. But yeah, if you do not own that plugin, you know, we've got options in this template. So yeah, anyway, going down, we got the ad-libs as usual. Now, out of ad-libs are not really sticking out, but they are telling a bit of the story, so it's important to just kind of add stuff here and there. As you can see here, we use it.
Twisting up a blunt, she wanna roll my car, move faster. All these
Faster. Okay, that's kind of out of pitch, but you get the idea. Here, this is the most important part, so listen here.
Casper, oh, I feel like Casper. She all on me, haven't texted her since last year. Smoke.
So if we put all the effects in.
But we don't hear no noise.
And just for your entertainment, I actually had the when the stick was recording this, definitely not me, the mic was on and it was like blending in with the track. That's why this fade. Oh no, what are you doing? Why is this mic in over here? The input's still in, and as you can see, this template sounds mad clean, son. Oh, I feel like Casper, you know.
Haters talking, but we don't hear no noise.
We don't hear no noise, but we're smoking on that gas, yeah. Running in the whatever, alright. 24 inputs, that's how we're doing it in 2018. Alrighty, I'm back to my usual dry self. So, yeah, the mic was on and it just sounded cool. So this is kind of a parallel effect, even though the fact that the microphone is far away from the recording. If you understand a bit about recording, this is really interesting because I've blended this in with the doubler channel, and you can just hear it soloed. Sick. And you know what makes that interesting is it just kind of sounds interesting. So let's play the whole thing. And
riding down the highway, left my sorrows back in last year. Twisting up a blunt, she wanna roll my car, move.
You know, that to me is what cloud rap, if you want to call it that, is all about, right? It's all about having something interesting in the song that you can't really hear, but it's aesthetic. I love Vaporwave, by the way. So Vaporwave is good music. You guys should listen to it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. There's not much else going on in this template besides the rockstar effect. Ooh. Yeah, in terms of the instrumental, we are doing a bit of EQ because I feel like, you know, with a lot of kind of sing-song rap, it's very important for the instrumental to not overkill the beat, right? So
riding down the highway, left my sorrows back in last year.
A bit too much. The bass is not really like subby enough, so you know, we're doing a bit of a booster over there, bit of a top end boost, getting rid of a lot of that piano sample. We just solo that. Solo, okay, yeah, you do lose a bit of air, but with the vocal, you know.
Riding down the highway, left my sorrows back in last year. Twisting up a blunt, she wanna roll.
You know, and I really don't recommend doing this if you don't truly trust yourself, because it's really easy to kill someone else's work just because you felt like it needed changing. So yeah, delay triggers.
Haters talking, but we don't hear no noise.
Nice. So as you can see, the automation is just bringing it in.
Haters talking, but we don't hear no noise.
Chorus with a delay on it, you know, normal stuff every day. And as you can hear, there's a flange in the background, and then we got a growth speed, and this is how you achieve that. It just creates that vibe, you know what I mean? You don't have to be rapping the whole song. And we got a reverb. There we go. Perfect. You know what I mean? And all you really need to do with that is you need to automate it in. So as you can see here, this is triggering both the growth speed and the reverb. As you can see, just watch right over here.
Haters talking, but we don't hear no noise.
Whoops, a bit far back. You know, if we turn it off, we're losing a lot of that energy.
Riding down the highway.
But just with that, you know. And in my opinion, that's a beautiful way to end a song. You know, you can add a bit of spacey reverb, you know, slowly fade it out. I really hate songs that fade out like this. Oh my gosh. But like these type of fade out songs, you know. Like, what are you... what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, you know, the beat maker put effort into this beat, you know, let it ride out, you know, do him justice, you know. If he shines, you shine, vice versa, you know what I mean? You know, mastering EQ just to kind of emphasize all the important things, get rid of whatever we don't need. Obviously my voice is suffering a bit today due to that EQ, but yeah, it is what it is. It is your boy Farai. Pretty intense 20-minute video. I didn't think it would be that long, but hey, if you're in search for knowledge, you will find, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it is your boy Farai signing out. Like and subscribe. 2,000 subscribers. Wow, wow. By the way, I'm not even like, I'm just like, to me it's 20 million because, you know, each person is a million to me, if you know what I mean. So yeah, it's your boy signing out as usual. Stay blessed. 2018, just get the guap in this music industry. Go hard, you know what I mean? Don't stop. Peace.